This may have been the 44th career trophy that Lionel Messi has won, but the reaction towards winning that trophy was no different than the first 43 times that he was lifting silverware. Inter Miami are champions of the League's Cup thanks in no small part to the wonderful performances that Lionel Messi has put in ever since he joined the club. And this is a pretty big turnaround really for the side because they are currently 15th, which is last in the Eastern Conference of the MLS, which means that they're in essence pretty much all but out of the race for the playoffs, although mathematically it's not entirely out of the question, but they're 12 points off a playoff spot. And until Messi joined, it didn't seem like they were going to be getting that much better. However, along with Messi, the joining of Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba has injected some much needed quality into the side. But let's keep the main focus on Lionel Messi because he was just that good throughout this tournament that he pretty much almost single-handedly inspired this run, not only by displaying some good leadership, but also by doing what he does best, getting plenty of goals and plenty of assists. The journey started, of course, with that win over Cruz Azul, which also incidentally happened to be his debut, where he came off the bench, scored a late free kick winner, Inter Miami won 2-1, and the Lionel Messi show was well and truly underway at that point. That was just an indication of things to come, because whilst most people expected that the magic would fizzle out at some point, it absolutely did not. The next were up against Atlanta United, and Messi showed exactly why it is that Inter Miami was so desperate to get him. Leave aside marketability. In a 4-0 victory which Inter Miami registered, Lionel Messi scored 2 goals and created the other 2. He was literally involved in every single goal that they scored, whether by scoring it himself or by making the assist. And thereafter, they went on to play Orlando City, which many thought would probably be the toughest test which Messi would have, because Orlando City do have a bit of a reputation of playing slightly rough. However, even against Orlando City, he ended up scoring 2 goals, and not only that, he also ended up getting involved in a fight despite being goaded by the players, and with many expecting that he probably wouldn't take the bait. He took the bait and then some, and in fact got so heated that he actually ended up getting booked as well for a pretty clumsy challenge. Not that it made much difference to the Inter Miami caravan, as it rolled on with another victory, which they ended up registering 3-1 at that point in time. Now, into the round of 16, and they were up against FC Dallas, and Lionel Messi was once again at his best. He ended up scoring 2 goals, which included another late free kick, and he even got 2 assists. But the FC Dallas game was a little bit of a troublesome one because it ended 4-all in normal time. Inter Miami did go on to win the match, but would need a penalty shootout to do so. Not that there was any such problems when they came up against Charlotte FC in the quarterfinal. They registered yet another big win, and Messi was the one who scored their last goal on the night. On to the semi-finals, and you're thinking at this point, Inter Miami are primed for a run at the title, and sure enough, going up against a Philadelphia Union side, they once again won by 4 goals. It was in fact 3 goals in this case, but they scored 4 because they won 4-1, and Messi was once again on the score sheet. In case you're wondering at this point by how many goals he had managed to get, despite having played just these few games, he was already up 9 goals, and many were thinking, is he going to be getting 10, 11, 12? How many can he get? The answer, well, he ended up getting 10 because he ended up scoring Inter Miami's only goal in the final, which was up against Nashville SC. Now, Nashville SC's actually ended up playing pretty well, to their credit. They took the game to penalties, but unfortunately, it was Inter Miami's goalkeeper who was the hero in this case. Messi did end up scoring his penalty, and he also was, well, as I said, pretty happy throughout with the way the match played out. But it was in fact their goalkeeper who ended up saving what was the 11th penalty of the game at that point. And if he didn't save that, we would have been starting all over. It was a long penalty shootout, but Inter Miami at long last had their first silverware, and it is safe to say that it would have been impossible without the Messi effect. Now, there has been a lot of talk on social media among certain fans that maybe the MLS is just too easy for Lionel Messi, which does seem to be a fair comparison, but you have to also remember that Lionel Messi has made a career out of absolutely toying with defenses and making them look worse than they really are. This, after all, is the same man who was making Josko Gvardiol, someone who was signed for nearly £90 million by Manchester City, look like an absolute amateur defender during the FIFA World Cup. So if the defenses look that bad, it's probably just because they're that bad. It is because Leo Messi really is that good. And at this point, it does seem like, well, it may not happen this year because again, Inter Miami are not in a great position as far as making the playoffs. Wouldn't be surprising if Messi ended up adding another league title to his already long list of trophies at this point, and in fact might actually end up adding a few more before he decides to call it a career and move on from the game. Of course, that happening is something that not a lot of people can anticipate, but we all know that Messi is at the final stage of his career. It's nice to see though that while still being in the twilight of his career, he's able to impact games just as he always has throughout his career. What are your thoughts on Messi's magical run through the Leagues Cup? And do you think he can continue to show such form now that the MLS will be restarting in earnest? You can let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the Sportsbook app. And if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos that we've done. For now though, from my side, it is goodbye.